Hey guys, it's Russell back, and on today's video I've got a special car soap review. We're going to be testing Adams car soap. Now you guys probably are wondering why this bottle looks like this. Well, Adams has, at least right now, currently it's March 11th, I think this is still available on their website. They're having a 17th anniversary throwback sale on some items that they started out with, and one of the items is the Adams Red car soap. Now I've had a lot of questions from people wanting me to test this to see if it's the same as the old Adams car soap. Well, it's supposed to be. It looks exactly the same. I'm not a chemist, but if you guys have heard constantly, repeatedly on my videos how much I absolutely love, this is my all-time favorite car soap. It's the best car soap I've ever used. I would rate this as a 9.5. The only thing I would change about this car soap, if you could, is to add just a hair more slickness in the water. But, you know, that's just nitpicking. That may make it a 10. But I wanted to do this. I got a couple bottles of this during the throwback sale, so I can keep my stock. This is going to be used for kind of special occasions, but I wanted to do a test for you guys. As you can see, I've already used some out of this bottle. We're going to be doing the tests like we've done before at the premium type dilution ratios for premium car soaps. I'm going to be using the MTM submachine gun style foamer. We'll be using 2 ounces of the Adams and 10 ounces of warm water. Then I'm going to use 1 ounce of the Adams in my 3-gallon bucket to check the foaming ability. Now I've been using this stuff for years, so I can tell you that, at least I don't have to say, I've never heard of this soap, I've never used this. Obviously I have, you guys hear me talk about it on the videos all the time. Now, what I really like about this shampoo and some of the other premium shampoos from chemical guys is that you can wash your car in the sun. I don't care if it's the middle of August and it's a black car, it's been sitting out all day. This formula right here, this pH balance formula, will not hurt your paint in any way if it accidentally dries, okay? It absolutely won't. You could let that thing dry on there and come back 2 days later. Not that you would, but I'm just saying, especially if you have a black car and it's really hot outside in the summer, that's just one of the advantages of this car soap. I love this car soap. But the question that most viewers want to know is it the same as their old formula? Let's go find out. All right, the temperature is about 55 degrees. There's a light breeze right now. This car is full of bug guts, as you can see all over the front end. It's been in a couple of rainstorms. It's pretty dirty. All right, I've got 2 ounces of our Adams car soap and 10 ounces of warm water. Let's see how it foams. Okay, so far the foam Acts just like the old Adams did. It's comprised of mostly small cell with a few medium cell bubble structures in the foam itself. It does have some lubrication to it, which is a good thing. It's a pretty thick foam. But what I like about this foam is that it does a very, very good job cleaning the non-bonded contaminants. At least the old formula did. Now again, as I said before, I'm not a chemist, but I'm sure that if they say this is the old formula, it is. But we'll come back in 6 minutes, see what's left, and see how well it removed the non-bonded contaminants. Okay, so here we are back 6 minutes later, and the sun is going in and out behind the clouds. We've got probably almost, I'd say almost 85 to 90% coverage still on the hood, windshield, and top. And maybe 45 to 50% left on the sides of the car. So let's rinse this off and see if it harms our sealant that we put. Well, actually, I'm doing so many cars. This doesn't have any sealant on it yet. Still have to do a buffing video. It does have some express spray wax. We'll see what it does to it. Also, if it moved the non-bonded contaminants. Alright, so as you can see, there is still some spray wax protection on the hood, which is good. Now keep in mind, I think it's been 2 or 3 weeks since I was able to wash this car for my neighbor. It got rid of all the bug guts. Now this is a reason that I kind of like, not kind of like, but I really like the Adams as a pre-wash, because it removes a very good portion of the brake dust. Now, we don't expect a pre-wash to remove non-bonded contaminants. That's just asking too much for it. However, as I said before, one of the reasons that I love this car soap is because it does work a little bit on the non-bonded contaminants. As you can see from where the wheels are, where I touched it. But if you go back and look at the very first video I ever did on this car that had absolutely no wax protection at all, the Meguiar's Express Wax that I wiped this car down with just as an interim before I can get this thing right with buffing it. So it didn't harm that at all. So I love this car soap. It's great as a pre-wash. You know, I think it's near a solid 9 to 9.5, and as best I can tell, it's the exact same as the old formula. So let's get our bucket set up see what kind of foamage we get out of the Adams, and see how it does in a hand wash. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do now is we're going to put 1 ounce of our Adams into 3 gallons of water here with our bucket. The scent and the color are the exact same as the old formulation. It has a very intense cherry scent to it. It is a very viscous car soap. As you can see, it'll sit on the bottom of the bucket and a ribbon, which is what any viscous car soap will do. Now the reason that I'm only using 1 ounce is because the dilution ratio of the Adams is 1 ounce to 5 gallons, as is most of, like you would see the Chemical Guys premium car soaps. Unlike our Amazon soap test, there is a much higher grade of car soap here. So let's agitate this with the pressure washer and see what kind of foamage we get. Okay, now the Adams makes very large cell structure bubbles when you place it in the bucket. It's mostly medium and large cells. There is a good amount of slickness in here. And as I said before, if I was going to make this just a hair better, to pretty much make it a 10, I would put more lubrication in the water. Only because you can't, I don't think you can really have enough. I'm sure there's a reason, a chemical reason for that. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get my 4 mitts. We'll get everything set up and see how this performs in a hand wash on the Accord. Alright guys, so here is my assessment of the Adams car shampoo, the Old Red formula, the throwback formula. I think it's the same as the original Adams. It does an awesome job. The reason that I like this car soap so much is, and it may be a little hard to quantify or explain, but as I'm rubbing the mitt and washing the surface of the car, water is and soap solution is leaving the mitt. Okay, so at the end of where you're going to get to, near the end where you're going to flip the mitt over, the car soap is just as good as when I just took it out of the bucket. Okay, it's not, it doesn't degrade, if that makes sense. And I know I'm not really explaining that very well, but there is a sense that the first part of the wash with the mitt itself is pretty much the same as the end of the wash. So I don't know if that's a good explanation. It just, I can tell that the cleaning ability of the soap in the mitt is just as good towards the end as it is in the beginning. So that's probably not a good explanation. The car soap does a fantastic job removing contaminants. I can't say enough about it. This is why this is a 9.5 soap. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know if there's a 10 out there, but if there is, I sure would like to find it. So anyway, that's my assessment, guys. That's my opinion. It seems like the throwback formula is the exact same as the original formula. So with that being said, I'm going to sign off this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're not subscribed, then please do so. Give it a thumbs up, and I will see you on the next video.